to even make top 64, top 128. Those spots were harder to get into than any other tournament. We saw like state, champions basically drowning well outside of the top 128. This was such a difficult tournament all the way through. And to me, that's like the real. This isn't just a super major. This is like, to me, solidly the hardest tournament we've ever had.
Detroit, Michigan, October 9th, 2022. Two competitors out of almost 1,000 have made it to the grand finals of the Super Smash Bros. Melee Super Major, the Big House 10. A familiar face, Mango, the #1 Melee player of all time, is warming up diligently for the match. As he does so, a numerical tattoo becomes visible on his arm, symbolizing his first place finishes at Big House 2, 4, 6, and 9.
Up there, Mango is your grand finals champion for Big House 2.
He up airs!
Mango beats Mewtwo King!
No, but wait a minute!
He gets him off the
He
up
just
there.
comes down from the platform and gets a grab on the top!
These 4 wins, making Big House arguably the House of Mango, only scratches the surface of the GOAT's illustrious Melee career. In total, Mango has won over 30 Super Majors, making one of the most astounding achievement lists competitive esports has ever seen. But he doesn't let it get to his head. After being placed outside of the top 10 in the summer 2022 rankings, the first time Mango has ever been placed outside top 10 since his career start in 2006, Mango would go on a mid-year tear, placing top 8 in every tournament he attended, even winning 2 of them, Super Smash Con and Lost Tech City. Now, after impressively besting Zayn and IBDW, the number 1 and 2 ranked players respectively, he finds himself in grand finals, just like always, hungry for another win. But as far as Melee goes, there are always 2 stories to every match. On the other side of the stage, Messiah aMSa Chikamoto plugs in his controller. Unlike Mango, he's only ever been to grand finals of a Super Major once, losing to IBDW at Double Down 2022 for a career best placing of 2nd. This was only a handful of months ago, and his back-to-back grand final appearance symbolizes aMSa's slow-growing momentum over a 10-year competitive Melee career. If aMSa were to win here, it would be his first Super Major win, his character's first Super Major win, and his home country's first Super Major win. Looking to write the history he came so close to doing months prior, aMSa sits down not only to play, but to win. But in order to understand the history that is about to be made, we have to go back to the beginning and discuss the myriad obstacles aMSa had to overcome to even be here in the first place. The countryside of Hyogo, Japan. Growing up in the 90s, aMSa would routinely enjoy playing N64 with his older siblings and neighborhood friends. Like many kids of his generation, he fell in love with Nintendo's creatively crafted worlds and characters, especially that of Yoshi's Island and its protagonist Yoshi. Yoshi possessed a special charm that aMSa was drawn to, and when playing Mario Kart and Mario Party with friends and family, he would always select Nintendo's lovable dinosaur. Super Smash Bros. Melee, released in 2001, was no exception. In aMSa's neighborhood, he was quickly considered the best, and he would continue to be throughout his entire teens. It wasn't until aMSa attended Tohoku University in 2012 that he would finally meet an opponent that could stand toe-to-toe with him. Sun, an impressive Melee Fox player, who like aMSa in the years to come, would be considered one of Japan's best ever Melee players. They didn't know this at the time, however, and a friendly rivalry blossomed between the two. They made a blog for their university's Melee club in October 2012, and even began to run the club's first tournaments together, including Ninja 1, North Japan's first official high-level tournament. With some of Japan's best players in attendance, it's a marvel that aMSa, in his first tournament ever, would place in the top 5. Directly after the tournament, competitors eagerly gathered around a computer to watch the North American Super Major, Apex 2013. aMSa and friends in their cramped venue cheered on their native Captain Falcon user Gucci and Falco user Konatori, or Ko for short, as they battled it out against the top players in the world. The joy aMSa felt watching this broadcast, coupled with the excitement he felt competing, planted a seed that maybe he too one day would travel overseas to compete with the world's best. When he traveled down to Osaka, Japan 5 months later to compete in the Japanese national Sumabato 8, the seed blossomed. Here, aMSa and his university friend Sheik would meet and become friends with Ko, and the trio agreed to travel together to EVO 2013. In contrast to smaller Japanese Melee tournaments, EVO 2013 would have over 700 competitors. This was not a local, nor a regional, this was a bona fide super major, and aMSa, with his broken English, would find himself right in the middle of it. When asked if he was scared of attending this international tournament, aMSa would say, "I didn't feel fear or anything, I just thought how fun it was to play top players." aMSa would shock the international scene by not only placing 25th, but by also taking a game off of Mewtwo King, one of the 5 Melee gods, or the 5 best players in the world. This stellar performance would propel aMSa into the 2013 Global Top 100 player ranking, joining the likes of Ko and Gucci, the only other Japanese players to make the cut. But a statistic that was even more infrequent than aMSa's nationality was his character selection. In the top 100, he was the only player to main Yoshi. In 2013, Yoshi was considered a low tier, or simply put, a bad character, being ranked 21st out of 26 in terms of competitive viability. This is due to Yoshi's glaring weaknesses, such as the inability to jump out of shield, the lack of recovery options, and one of the most unreliable and vulnerable grabs in the cast.
That doesn't quite reach. Yoshi with the grab range smaller than Marth.
Therefore, a competitive player selecting Yoshi instead of a top tier, like say Marth or Fox, seemed not only weird, but like self-destruction. aMSa disagrees, however. Having played and revolutionized the character for over a decade now, Yoshi's strengths are more than enough to make up for their weaknesses. No other character possessed the mechanics and movement aMSa had come to deeply understand, appreciate, and develop. Half a year later, aMSa traveled to the States again to attend Apex 2014, and at this tournament, he would have another breakthrough performance.
We're about to see the talk, the big word, all the noise of Apex. aMSa sitting down with his Yoshi bag.
Tournament? Well, not winners tournament. Like,
Yo, but we back.
cancel. Ooh, so tense. Oh, I'm trying to media cancel. Oh, down smash. Yes. aMSa takes it.
Wow.
You hear the crowd erupt. Great play by aMSa.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, but aMSa, he has something to say about it, especially with those platforms aiding him. That is a wrap! It's a wrap, he's all done! Yoshi!
Is this kid the real deal?
aMSa achieved a record-breaking 9th place, beating 3 of Melee's top 25 in the process, Fly Amanita, Chudat, and Silent Wolf. People were so enthralled and downright flabbergasted by this Japanese Yoshi player's performance that aMSa was invited to lead an exhibition event where he would face 8 top players consecutively. aMSa would go on to win against 7 of these 8 players, garnering him an unprecedented amount of international attention.
Slow down!
He was at 0% like 10, 15 seconds ago. Destruction!
When aMSa let people know months later that he could not compete internationally due to financial strain, the company who streamed the side event, VG Bootcamp, offered to sponsor the rising star and pay for aMSa's future travel and lodging. aMSa couldn't believe it. After just 2 international tournaments, he'd become a sponsored player. With travel expenses out of the picture, aMSa became the first Japanese player to attend a European tournament since 2008.
Oh my God! Those Japanese kids, man! I tell you.
aMSa also attended Kings of Cali 4, where he'd face off against the same Melee god who knocked him out of EVO 2013.
I love aMSa, but can you see him taking a match? Like,
VG King is so good.
he's the robot.
Narrowing down your options and running a maximization algorithm. Just barely misses. That might be it.
Oh my God.
aMSa's up 2 stocks.
aMSa, let's go.
The crowd comes alive.
So confused now.
It did work, but he didn't go anywhere. It doesn't do any knockback, right? Mario.
Oh, there it is.
Whoa.
He found it.
And then forward.
Oh. What the hell? No way. That's it.
Oh my God! Gimmer, please show the whole crowd. Everyone is watching this in this whole venue.
Qui-Gon Jinn, dude.
Oh!
Okay, here we go.
The egg!
Oh no!
Are we gonna witness aMSa taking a set off of
One of the gods.
One of the gods of the game. Don't get too impatient, aMSa. Jabs.
The egg. Oh, that's it! That's it!
Oh! aMSa takes it. He does a Shoryuken in celebration.
Wow.
Considering that the Five Gods rarely lost to someone outside their own group, this run was poised to be monumental now. But in top 8 winner side, aMSa would be bested by another god of Melee, the aforementioned Mango, and then again by the only player who won a set in aMSa's exhibition event, Lucky. aMSa ended the tournament at a career best 5th place finish, and considering aMSa was ranked 77th in the world, this run was nothing short of inspirational. You would think top 5 in a major tournament would come with a hefty cash prize, especially considering that all of aMSa's matches this tournament combined received a total 1.5 million views. But all aMSa received monetarily was $46.50. It was evident that Smash wasn't quite self-sufficient yet. After graduating from the Department of Space and Geophysics at the Hoker University in 2013, aMSa had 2 paths in front of him: attend graduate school or enter the workforce. aMSa decided to take the competitive entrance exam for graduate school. It was Japan's rainy season when aMSa learned he did not receive high enough marks to be accepted, and the weather, he admits, reflected his mood. While he saw his friends move on to their graduate studies, he entered the workforce alone. aMSa became an IT engineer, a job that, if it were in the US, would afford a comfortable lifestyle. But with Japan's notorious work culture, consisting of long hours and little pay, his job would leave little time for Super Smash Bros. Melee. It looked like the pro's career was done. aMSa's grit did not diminish, however, and he molded his work schedule in such a way to squeeze in 2 to 3 hours of practice every weekday. And on weekends, the pro practiced heavily, sometimes, he says, playing for upwards of 12 hours a day. Even with his job, aMSa was more determined than ever. aMSa would attend a couple tournaments this year, having the most success at Apex 2015, the biggest Melee tournament at the time. aMSa beat Fly Amanita, Zoo, SFAT, Kirby Kaze, and Lucky, who had defeated them at Kings of Cali a year prior. Now he was set to face the other man who had swiftly knocked him out back then, the ever-present Melee god Mango.
Alright, well, Yoshi versus Fox.
Up there. Not quite. Smash the eye.
Double jump gone though.
There it is.
Good read. Not quite.
Yeah. Wow, but Mango sneaks in with that back air.
Nice down tilt.
That will do it.
Wow.
Catches the roll in with the nair. aMSa looking pretty good.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh!
aMSa going for broke. Oh, that's a stock. And the game.
Oh, Mango all of a sudden, I don't know. Even if aMSa is able to armor through things, he has to eat damage every time he does it.
And
up smash.
Good job by Mango. Oh, there goes aMSa.
aMSa with an impressive 5th place finish.
5th place, man.
So 5th place, if you're going to count 11, you know, in the pantheon, if you like the top 5, the top 6, I should say, the gods. aMSa placed right outside the gods.
Yeah.
aMSa would have time to attend only 2 major international tournaments this year, Pound and Super Smash Con. This was not only because of his job, but out of his new passion for cultivating the Japanese Melee scene back at home. He would attend many domestic events such as Chubu 5, Battle Gateway, and KVO, all performances which would make aMSa by the end of the year Japan's #1 player. But aMSa wasn't interested in his new ranking as much as he was growing his home country's competitive Melee scene. For the next 2 years, that would become his main goal, but in a place like Japan, that comes with setbacks. For example, an intense work culture heavily discourages would-be new players a chance to try out a new hobby. Also, Japanese law calls turning entrance fees into prize money gambling, and thus illegal. And to top it off, Nintendo heavily regulates what native users may do with their products. With these challenges, taking a chance on Melee seemed too much of a risk for big brands, and in 2017, aMSa would receive a big blow when EVO Japan rejected to include Melee in their fighting game roster. It was clear a grassroots effort was needed to grow Japanese Melee. For 2 years, aMSa would TO Battle Gateway, Japan's largest tournament series, and a series aMSa had been attending since the first installation in 2013. Over the years, aMSa successfully transformed Battle Gateway's minuscule player attendance up to the high 10s, and once managed to get the US and then ranked number 12 player in the world SFAT to participate. It wasn't the attendance rate, domestic or international, that aMSa was hoping for, but from 2016 to 2018, aMSa slowly grew Japanese Melee into an active and eager community.
No re, never re.
In 2018, feeling that his domestic community was in a self-sufficient position, he he would focus more on overseas competition again. Upon seeing Hungrybox's performance drastically increase with a competitive coach, aMSa decided to start the year by hiring Kaito, a former Melee competitive player, to be his coach. The duo were convinced that this year aMSa could reach the ambitious goal of becoming top 10 in the world. This would mean boosting his overall ranking by 14 slots. Genesis 5, aMSa places 9th out of 1,365 entrants, after beating the number 8 and 9 in the world, Wizrobe and SPAT respectively.
That's crazy.
That's a huge upset.
That is a huge upset, dude.
Oh my gosh, the whole venue going crazy for aMSa.
At EGLX, aMSa places a career best 4th place, beating Ice, Sweetest Delight, Crush, and Mewtwo King.
The other side of the stage, there's no way he can make it, and that's it!
And aMSa beating Mewtwo King.
And at Full Bloom 4, he would find himself tied 2-2 with Mango yet again. This time, it was down to their last stop.
All right, here we
5,
go.
that's a good stock
Game
for Mango.
5. Stock a piece, Mango 55%. Oh, but he's trading. aMSa all over him. Mango fight right back.
aMSa off stage.
Bear.
The air dodge. Oh, he doesn't got anything.
Oh no, he
the
did
egg.
that. What? Yo, what is going on? Oh,
I don't even know.
aMSa.
Laid on the nair.
What the? Oh, what the fuck?
Dude, he's got to get this.
Oh,
That's it.
my
Mango
God.
hangs on.
Oh my God.
Woo!
That was a good set, man.
The second half of the year, aMSa finds himself in the top 8 of 5 major tournaments. aMSa's 2018 performances cultivated into a breakthrough year, and he would end 2018 ranked 9th in the world. In 2019, the corporate world would start to notice aMSa's rise in the ranks, and in January 2019, aMSa signs with Red Bull. Now, like the other top 10 players around him, he is able to quit his job and participate full-time. aMSa starts the competitive year by beating Mango for the first time at Genesis 6 for a record-tying 4th place finish out of 1,113 participants. At Smash and Splash, aMSa gets 5th, beating Mango for the 2nd time. At Super Smash Con, he gets 5th again, beating Mango for the 3rd time.
Oh my God. Oh, he gets egg. I
Oh,
think
that's
it.
aMSa clutches it out over Mango.
The second half of 2019, aMSa never places outside top 8, but a pattern was slowly starting to trend for the pro. aMSa could reliably make it into top 8 of any tournament he entered, but could never break into the top 3, let alone the top 1. Therefore, something next year aMSa planned to do was move to North America, the best Melee region in the world, giving him ample opportunities to routinely train and compete with the world's best. Unfortunately, this year wasn't all aMSa hoped for. For starters, Mango would start to adapt to his Yoshi, and at the tournaments aMSa did enter this year, Genesis and Smash Summit 9, Mango would beat his Yoshi both times decisively, reminding the world that Yoshi was far from a top tier.
Mango showing a really brilliant adaptation in the matchup.
Mango with the 30.
But more unfortunately, the COVID pandemic starts, and his plans of moving to North America are instantly crushed. Melee tournaments across the board are being cancelled or moved online. aMSa, all the way across the globe, can enter none of them. Stuck quarantining with no future tournaments to look out for, aMSa diligently practices by himself in his room, day by day, for the rest of 2020 and the first half of 2021. This unmatched work ethic would make the second half of 2021 the light at the end of the tunnel. In-person tournaments started popping back up, and aMSa was more than prepared. At Smash Summit 11 and 12, aMSa beats Mango both times, making their lifetime record 6-5, slightly in Mango's favor. At the Smash World Tour, which he qualified for by dominating East Asia's best players 18-0, aMSa places 5th. But it wouldn't be until 2022 that aMSa would show the competitive Melee world what he was truly capable of. Going into the 2022 season, aMSa looked unstoppable. This year aMSa turned 30, the cutoff age for a Japanese young adult to apply for a work visa. If he is to move to North America, now's the time. He submits his application and starts competing again. At Genesis 8, aMSa places an impressive 5th in the singles bracket, but first in the doubles, the first time in history a Japanese player has done so. At Pound, aMSa gets 3rd place, his best placement yet, beating Leffen, IBDW, and Laud.
That's it, the down B! And aMSa trios Leffen!
At Double Down, aMSa comes his closest to winning ever. After beating Azel, SFAT, Magi, Fiction, and Zane, the #1 player in the world at the time, aMSa is set to face IBDW in Grand Finals, and the set could not have been closer.
On point with that shine follow-up. Oh, but big punish! This could be it for aMSa. Oh, the egg barely does it in! Oh my god! Oh my god! A critical miss! aMSa dies last stock when he has the edge guard.
Oh my god.
Cody going through.
Due to a technical error on the last stock of the last game, aMSa falls down into the blast zone, taking his chance of winning the tournament with him. Everyone is stunned. This was the first time aMSa or Yoshi had ever appeared in a grand finals, but now it seemed bittersweet. aMSa wasn't deterred, however, because he would make sure it wouldn't be the last time either. aMSa receives his work visa shortly after and moves to Vancouver, ready to put it all on the line. Big House 10. aMSa shows up as the projected 8th seed out of almost 1,000 participants, in one of the most monolithic Melee tournaments of all time. aMSa quickly makes it into the top 24 by beating top 10 player Kodorin 3-0. On paper, his run should end at the hands of his next opponent, Hungrybox, one of the 5 Melee gods. Hungrybox is not only higher ranked, but holds a massive advantage when it comes to their overall set count, having 10 wins to aMSa's 3. Let the games begin.
This is not tenable. This is not tenable.
65% Tome! It can't be done!
It can't be done.
It's over!
5, 4,
aMSa
3,
has done it!
2, 1.
aMSa doesn't miss a beat, beating the Melee God 3-1. In winner's semis, aMSa meets his next opponent, the rising Fox star Soonstay.
Creativity amongst Yoshi mains to figure out how to handle this matchup.
Characters like Yoshi and like Pikachu and things like that.
Just keep it like you don't have to rip a lot of lasers too. Okay, yeah, see? Just keep the beat the roll, so she's saying, oh my, that's why this matchup sucks. Right. Her option player is like
aMSa can take the stock immediately. Oh, he's hanging it. The multi-hanger, it's good. That was genius from aMSa. Wait, this is what I was dancing this.
AMSA is super prepared for the transformations. Doesn't it feel like AMSA's hella prepared for the transformations?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
And
aMSa quickly defeats Sunsei, and this advances him to winners finals, where he'll meet Mango, the aforementioned #1 player of all time.
Love to tutor on horns once in a while. But at the core of his being, you know he's still a competitor. The fire still burns. And
here we
aMSa,
go.
Another player who's been around the block, but a player who has never had that, who's never tasted the sweet victory of winning the whole thing.
And he's hungry for it.
He's so hungry at Double Down when he came the closest he's ever come ever. I think we had a post-tournament interview with PG Stats, and they asked him, you know, what do you think about your rank, you know, coming out of the ranking season? He said, the rank's not on my mind. All that's on my mind now is I need to win one of these.
That's
prioritization. I need to take first place, and that's all I care about.
Oh! No jump down.
You are in this game. The less hits that you incur. Oh, tech chase. Tech trap. Down tilt. Not with the down smash. Mango's Fox yet.
My heart stopped.
Oh my goodness, up air trades, but the second it doesn't connect, and aMSa gets it.
Melee has defeated two of the gods of the very game to secure a spot in grand finals at perhaps the most stacked tournament of all time. There's one set standing in aMSa's way from winning.
Melee tournaments are ubiquitously double elimination, so Mango gets sent down to losers final, facing IBDW for the second spot in Grand.
And a power shield.
He's caught! He's in the web! He's in the vortex!
This could be it! Forward smash! I gotta tell you, that doesn't where I'm from, Bobby. That's a 3.
Just like aMSa did at Double Down, Mango wins his losers final match, and comes back to face aMSa in Grand Finals. With their overall career set now 6-6, and both players ready to show the world that they're #1, it's anyone's game.
Tournament.
Yeah, this is, oh my god, okay, great tech from Mango. And
look at the damage, Tone!
Why was he ready for that? Oh my goodness gracious, Mango's getting beat down.
He is getting beat down. aMSa is just such a problem right now. 2-0. Tone, it's real. We're one game away from a Yoshi. A Yoshi.
It's actually happening. Oh my god, it's happening.
goodness, he's on the board, Toe! We're going to game 5. We're going to game 5.
And that was some of the best Fox Yoshi play that I've seen all tournament and probably all my life.
aMSa's come so close, and now his tournament win is slowly starting to slip away, and it looks like history is once again repeating itself. Game 5 begins.
This is a little bit of a gamble.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take a gamble. And we're getting the first off. Look at that angle. I'm not even sure Mango's done that angle before. Why was he ready for it?
For Mango.
Rolled by accident. That's going to be it. Okay, he doesn't miss that 3 times. One of the first things you look for in this matchup is like, is the Fox hitting the good text? And what a read way on angles that I would say Mango doesn't typically go for. Here's the,
Another
mistake, mistake.
Game 5,
mistake. This is the
This
money
is
maker.
game 5. Is aMSa going to have his stop
Forward
lead?
smash. That's probably a dead Fox, bro. That is a dead. The angle confirmed to
Game
seal
5.
the envelope.
aMSa with the stop lead. Mango has shown that he's awake. Both players are awake. Will this go to a set 2? It had to be last October.
Of course it did.
If aMSa opens Mango up here, history will be written. And the crowd is saying, aMSa, unambiguously, an open up.
Oh,
Mango's freaking out. He's up. This is it.
No.
Look at it. Look at it.
The down smash.
It's over.
He did the
It's over.
aMSa did it. aMSa did it. The first time in history aMSa wins a super major, the hardest tournament we've ever seen in 22 years.
It was one open up, one mistake from Mango. Jab reset, up air, jab reset, up air. And finally, he sweeps the floor. Oh, Mango smashes the controller down. He knows that he had it. He knows how close he was. Mango put up an incredible fight because that was looking like it was going to be easy peasy for aMSa. Yeah. Then it looked like it was going to be easy peasy for Mango, and there were going to be broken hearts. But at the last stock, game 5, big house 10.
I don't believe it.
Yoshi.
But through the years, aMSa said plenty of victories, plenty of top player victories where he's beating the gods. And he beat all of them, you know, in turn. But it was always, you know, I beat this guy at this tournament, and I just kind of didn't, I got edged out by that guy. Oh, I beat Mango, but I couldn't get H-Box this time. Oh, I beat Plum, but I couldn't get Wizzy this time. But today, he puts it all together at the hardest tournament of all time. And what a journey it must have been for him. Yatta! Yeah. Look at this. Ooh.
Wow.
How are you feeling, aMSa?
I can't believe it.
Put your mic up, yeah.
I can't believe it. So my feeling is weird. So I feel I still have some matches right now. So
You feel like you got to play the next one.
yeah. Oh, but finally, I got the first place. It took like the 10 years.
Does it feel real yet?
Yeah.
実感
実感
まだ
してないね。
してないね。してないね、さすがに。
Yeah, but yeah, because of everyone who support me for a long
years.
time, and shout out to the VG Bootcamp for always supporting me and the level, always giving me the wings. Yeah. And my fans and my supporters, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, aMSa.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us
I
these 10
appreciate it.
years. Here's to many more.
Ultimately, aMSa's win at the Big House 10 is a story about perseverance. Each obstacle, whether it be geographical, economical, character-based, or most recently the greatest of all time, aMSa persevered with unmatched dedication. In 2012, aMSa was sitting down planning his first tournament ever with his friend Sun. Now a full decade later, in one of the greatest competitive showings of all time, aMSa, a dedicated and beloved player, proving against all odds that he had what it took to be the best, would win Melee's biggest super major of all time. And that's why there will never ever be another Melee player like aMSa.